Today we're embarking on a visual odyssey peering into the realm of cutting-edge innovation that is the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Imagine a device that's not just a phone, but a gateway to a world of limitless creativity, a tool empowering both everyday users and professionals to unleash their artistic potential. In this video, I'm going to compare photo and video examples from the iPhone 15 Pro Max to my mirrorless camera, which is the Canon R6. My favorite feature on the iPhone 15 Pro series is definitely the Apple Prores Log. Now, most people won't be using log footage, so I'll save that part for the end of this video, but let me start with the photos. After the comparison results, I'm gonna answer the question if the iPhone 15 Pro Max is going to replace my mirrorless camera. The 15 Pro series come in titanium, which is so much lighter compared to the 14 Pro and Pro Max. But of course, after using it for a year, you're going to forget about the weight. But it definitely feels much better, and it feels nice to have it in your pocket without noticing that your phone is there. One thing I've noticed so far after using is that the iPhone 15 Pro Max does get hot really quick. I mean, it really heats up. I'm guessing that's probably the A17 Pro chip that is working really fast. I guess the biggest change this year is that the iPhone 15 now has USB-C, which is pretty good. With the titanium, you get a lot of fingerprints on it, but in most cases, we use phone cases. Apple says that there's 7 different focal lengths, but there's only 3 cameras. That means there's something else going on here. So using these in your daily life actually brings out really good results. So I actually think that these focal lengths are pretty impressive. So when you're using your main camera, you've got it on default of 24 millimeters. You can switch that to 28 millimeters and then 35 millimeters. I mean, 28, 35 millimeters are pretty common focal lengths in traditional photography. Like I said, the results from these lenses are pretty good. You also got the option of shooting them in 48 megapixel heaps. The 15 Pro Max has a 120 millimeter focal length. Now this focal length is a matter of preference. So if you prefer something that's 77 millimeters, it maybe go for the iPhone 15 Pro. But if you're someone who wants to try the 120 millimeters, then go for the 15 Pro Max. Some prefer 77 millimeters while some prefer 120. I personally like using the shots where you have a lot of compression. I feel that they look really good. So I'm definitely gonna use the 120 millimeters more. Using it with action mode is even better. So if I'm walking and obviously I'm not using a gimbal and it's shaking, not to worry about it because action mode will make it seem buttery smooth. And it's really good that you have this feature inbuilt on the iPhone 15 Pro Max. However, it can do it on a max resolution of 2.8K, not 4K. So I'm at the UT campus and I'm going to be testing out this camera versus my Canon R6. Now just keep in mind that this one shoots in 20 megapixels while the iPhone 15 Pro Max can do it in 12, 24, and 48 megapixels. So just keep that in mind. So I'm gonna start now. I'm gonna compare the video and then compare the photos as well. Obviously trying to keep it of the same thing. I'm gonna make sure that I use the same focal length on my camera as well. I'm using the 15 to 35 f2.8. So just gonna do that 24, 28, and 35 millimeter focal lengths and test out photos and videos on that. Let's see how this goes. Also, I'm using the iPhone 15 Pro Max to record this right now. No external mics, nothing, just plain audio the way it is. And I'm just gonna put a few options, camera A, camera B, try guessing which is which, and then I'll put the answer toward the end of the comparison. And let's see if you are right. Time for photos now, and I'm just gonna take some random pictures. Now I'm going to talk about my favorite feature, which is the Apple Prores Log. You can finally film in 10-bit log profile, which is amazing, and it's inbuilt. Before, we'd have to use such features with apps like Moment Pro, for example. Now it comes built in with the iPhone 15 Pro series. Now, if you're someone who doesn't color grade, you're probably never going to use this feature, but for someone like me and many people who do color grade their videos or who want to use that footage to match footage from the other cameras, let's say if you want to match your iPhone's footage to other cameras such as your mirrorless camera, your drone, or even the GoPro Hero 12, which can now film in log, you can easily do so because the iPhone 15 Pro Max records in this flat color profile, which allows you to grade and gives you a lot of flexibility in getting your type of look that you want to achieve in post. And one of the best parts is that it shoots in Apple Prores, which is a very high quality format and easy to work with on the computer, but at the same time, enormous file sizes. So the normal iPhone videos usually have this extra computational sharpening that is there that usually makes it seem a little too unnatural, but filming in the log profile really takes all that away, and it really seems like it came from a much better, bigger sensor camera. The footage looks absolutely amazing, as if you're using a more professional camera, and doesn't seem like you filmed on the iPhone at all. As long as you don't notice that depth of field or background blur that bigger sensors or more professional cameras give you, you should be okay with this. The log footage from the iPhone 15 Pro Max can easily fit into your professional work. It looks amazing. Now that it has USB-C, you can connect an external SSD and film all your ProRes files onto that as well. Now, for everyday users, being able to shoot photos in so many different focal lengths and already having so many different types of presets that you can use in order to get your shots the type of look that you want it to look, it's amazing. I think that the iPhone 15 Pro Max is a really good production tool, but is it going to replace my mirrorless camera? I don't think it's quite there yet. Well, there's still a lot to go, especially when it comes to sensor size, getting that really good depth of field. I mean, I know you can change your depth of field when you shoot photos, you can control your aperture. It's great that you have all these options, but there's just something more about bigger sensor mirrorless cameras that just takes it away. However, there have been many times where I just don't want to take my mirrorless camera with me because of its size and just take my phone and be able to film in a log color profile. Now I can do that. At times it's hard to tell the difference between footage that was shot on the iPhone 15 Pro Max and my Canon R6. It's amazing how phone cameras are getting so close to being able to get that type of quality and the type of shots that you can get with professional mirrorless cameras. I'm excited to see what the future holds when it comes to phone cameras. I'll definitely be making more in-depth videos of comparing the log footage from this to the Canon R6 and many more videos, so make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss on future videos. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I will see you in the next one.